Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week at everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news that behavioural economics has truly reached the mainstream. But firstly, the IMF is saying the world's economic situation is pretty good. They see a growth spurt underway nearly everywhere. China is back from its Golden Week holiday and it seems optimistic. The Shanghai Stock Exchange Index hit a 21-month high yesterday. However, the latest reading from the Caixin China Services PMI makes for uncomfortable reading in Beijing. The Business Activity Index came in at 50.6 in September, the lowest since December 2015 and down a sharp 2.1 points from the previous month. Although new business rose at a slower rate last month than in August, output costs and prices charged both increased. Their inability to turn China into a consumption-led economy must be worrying policymakers there. And China reported that their foreign exchange reserves continue to grow and is now the 8th consecutive month of gains. They are now up at $3.1 trillion at the end of September, inching up by another $17 billion and slightly faster than the August gain of $11 billion. These are tiny gains, however, easily wiped out by a policy misstep. Reserves are barely 3% ahead of the $3 trillion level they rapidly sunk to in early 2017. And it turns out the $3 trillion level will be strongly defended and is a psychological marker for market watchers. New data out in Germany shows their factory output increased 3.2% in August from July and is up 5.4% year on year, the biggest increases in 6 years. That suggests strong third quarter GDP growth in Germany and more good news for Europe's largest economy. And we should also note that the Swedish Academy of Sciences has awarded the Nobel Prize in Economics to Richard Thaler of the University of Chicago for his work in behavioural economics. It is the second time this branch of economics has been recognised like this. Behavioural economics incorporates the study of psychology into the analysis of decision-making behind an economic outcome, such as the factors leading up to a consumer buying one product instead of another. Risk tolerance is a key component. Thaler challenged the notion that we're all rational economic decision makers. With New York closed, the US Treasury 10 yield is unchanged at 2.36%. Markets there are on holiday today. The price of crude oil is marginally higher and now at just under $49.50 a barrel, while the Brent benchmark is just under $50.50 a barrel. Interestingly, the US is reporting a second consecutive year of reductions in carbon dioxide emissions. In fact, they have fallen in 6 of the past 10 years and, believe it or not, are now back to 1992 levels. The price of gold is up $10 today, now at $1,282 an ounce, and the Kiwi dollar slipped a little yesterday, but has held its level overnight at 70.7 US cents. On the cross rates, we're slightly lower as well at 91.1 Aussie cents and 60.2 euro cents. Our TWI is now at 73.6. Election uncertainty is certainly weighing on our currency. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.